Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to IksloCraft, the shoutcasting diary following me, Ikslorin, on my journey to learn to play StarCraft 2. And this time around we have a game on King Sejong Station. For some weird reason that was much harder to pronounce than I anticipated. That's weird. Nevertheless, this game is not any kind of promotion. I haven't gotten to Diamond or anything like that. No. This is just merely, or Platinum wood, I think is, yeah, Platinum, sorry. But nevertheless, this is merely just a good game from the Gold League. And the opponent this time, in the red colors playing Zag, it is Tanaki. While on the other side of the map, in the top left, in the blue colors, it is me, Ikslorin. And very interesting differences here in the builds at first. I'm just going to go here for an early spawning pool together with an extractor. I did mess the build up heavily, but nevertheless. Tanaki on the other hand, going to go for the more economic focused approach here, with getting an early hatchery down, so getting much more larvae at first, and also should be able to get a bigger income, much more importantly, get a much bigger income such that he can get much more comfortably into this game. But still, going to go here for the scout, while I do nothing of the same. I just am going to go here for an overlord, and it doesn't really make sense much, I think, to scout, because going with such an aggressive build already at first, or map control-ish focused build, it doesn't make much sense to scout, since you pretty much get circlings up pretty much the same time that the drones up would be there anyways, we can see. So Tanaki goes in, doesn't see much, only sees here the speed circlings going to go down for, or speed circlings being researched, and already circlings being up. Possibly also did see that queen, but he did not see the natural being taken at here at the third, so he should probably begin to worry here a little bit of me being overly aggressive. He has already seen circlings, he has already seen speed and the queen, so it looks very, very cheesy in some way. But I hope this, I don't know if this makes much sense to do at the Gold Leagues, but I'm happy to think that it does some good, and they actually change their play based on it. We do see a spine crawler at both bases, so it probably seems like he actually has responded, and so that change in placement of this one has pretty much already cost him 200 minerals, which is quite a lot of circlings if we neglect the fact that there's possibly no larvae to support it. But nevertheless, or another queen has been denied, or quite a lot of drones too, so very much probably already has been paying off. The overlord here going in for Tanaki, and just barely actually brings him all the way down to being supply blocked here, which is not very good. So going to go only here for 2 more and having nothing else to do, but still the second one here should be seeing it. Yeah, we go. Yeah. Nevertheless though, he's going to go in for the aggression. Now that he sees that he's been fooled, he tries to see if he can go in and see if he can exploit the fact that my bases are so very spread apart. So going to go in though. At the same time though, we have a lot of circlings from all different sides here. So while he wins at first, I have a lot of stuff just coming in from all sides, almost getting here the surround and just trying to see if I can hunt him down. And now also the speed just hit in, and all of them are going to be killed. Nevertheless though, at the same time we also have a little bit here of a wall off here with these 2 evolution chambers. Also here for me, just the baneling nest just popped, and more drones are coming up, which seems to be needed since there's only 9 here, and oh well, at least it's fully saturated over here, but still I'm certainly lacking in drones. And queens apparently just got up too, so with just banelings popping here, and the baneling nest only halfway done for Tanaki, the only thing that really has any way to keep him safe is just these few banelings here, this queen that is wandering off, interestingly enough, and just this one spine crawler here. So with proper micro, this could do heavy damage, pretty much kill all the 8 drones here. The 1 extra spore crawler is going to come up. 4 spore crawlers going up here for Tanaki. That is very, very weird use of his... okay, I suppose... Okay, so I suppose just the fact that he had scouted the lair coming up, the early lair, he thinks that possibly might be me going here for Mutalisk, so going to go put some spore crawlers where he thinks he can keep his base safe, though Mutalisk can still come in from this side, weirdly enough. But still, I'm just beginning here to get ready to go in. And my overlord's also beginning to go out, so... Though at this point with 40 or 55, I should probably begin also here to go in for the third. Nevertheless, some quite big explosions here by the Baneling, it seems. Also here going to go here for the Queen. Gets her very far down, gets her down with only 2 circlings left. And now also nibbling away at the very last circling, and only 1 circling for me survives. And begins now here to begin to try and see if they can get some more kills here on the drones of Tanaki. With that, 4 drones have been in total killed, which is, to be honest, not really that much. I mean, there's also, also there's been a Queen and the Spine Crawlers, so 4 drones and quite a few circlings, 5 circlings possibly. It probably is the same when it comes down to the mineral cost and such, but still, if the whole mineral line was just killed instead of killing the Queen, much more damage would have been done, in my opinion at least. But also here the natural comes down quite late. Should have been much earlier, as you can see. There's quite a lot of floating. Should also go there in for a or for some kind of macro hatch, possibly. Also, the evolution chamber is also a nice touch. But still also, can we see upgrades? I can't remember the key binding for that. Oh well, nevertheless, let's see. There's no upgrades here on this circling, so Tanaki has had these evolution chambers up for quite some time, but hasn't actually used them for anything yet. So, just been going here for more circlings, trying to see if he can go in for a little bit here of a counter attack. Though I'm already here with quite a few circlings, but still, just enough and good enough Baneling hits are going to be more than enough to get everything to work. And still, though, pretty much one army cancels the other out, and the only thing that is still left is this lonely circling. But more is coming here. Tanaki is not letting it down. 10 circlings in production, and they're just going to go straight in for the main. Try and see if they can do some economic damage. Try and see if he can make sure that he can get back on footing up against these 4 drones that I killed. But still also simultaneously here going in onto the natural, I suppose. Should have been the third, but the natural. And there's really 2 drones over there. I didn't see that. They probably are still there. We'll have to check afterwards if they're still there. That's going to be sad if they are. Nevertheless, again, Tanaki really nicely just splitting his army. 4 over to the main and 4 over to the natural. So he's going to go and try and see if he can split my army up, or just make sure that he can get one side some damage done, while the other is not. And still though, this Queen here with only 6 HP survives very much a lot of stuff, and already the first Mutalisk up here for me. And simultaneously, some drones have been pulled here to get the main still under control, and slowly the main is beginning to push back. But still again, some more circlings here have killed the Queen here at the natural, and now also beginning here to hurt quite a lot here on the main, or the natural too. And Ikslorin being way too far behind, going to go for all of the circlings, but that Baneling there is going to be very, very frightening. Does get it there, but still more are coming, and he's not going away. And Ikslorin is just juking from one to the other, and Tanaki just keeps on splitting his army really, really nicely. Now also here going for what should have been the natural, but is the third. And simultaneously also one nice Baneling head here in the drone line, killing a lot of stuff. We're already up on 22 drones killed for Tanaki, but still only 38 workers to 38 workers, so nevertheless the income is pretty much the same. Actually, for some weird reason, my income is still much higher than his, which is possibly just due to the fact that I have all my workers on 3 different bases. And still though, splitting over to the third, over to the main, over to the natural, but still beginning slowly to clean it up and beginning to push back. Where's the production? There we go. More spore crawlers though, and spine crawlers are being built, so Tanaki is just beginning to turtle up. And also we have another macro hatchery here going down. Nothing of the lair tech except for the baneling speed has been used. Finally though, we also have the 1+1+1 here. And Ikslorin going to go in, gets the queen down. Some good baneling hits by Tanaki are going to get quite a lot of stuff of Ikslorin here killed. And Ikslorin here just tries to see if he can get some kind of baneling nest, but that one spore crawler though is doing way too much to his Mutalisk than what he wants. And already Tanaki again trying to see if he can go for the counter attack, ignores all of the circlings of Ikslorin, is just going to go further in. And already again doing the nice split. Ikslorin not really sure where he wants to go. Mainly goes here for the main, but already quite a lot of queens, but still that one baneling there should be killing. Doesn't seem like the micro was there, but still it did die. And a few more circlings trying to see if they could get the queen down, but she survived this time around. And this time, just by pure nature of AI, it seems like it was actually kind of shut down this one split. And Ikslorin again has this choke, meaning that the split not works anymore. Though he could pretty much just do a little bit of a 1-1 over here. But nevertheless, Tanaki, interestingly enough, goes with all of his stuff to this side. Ikslorin just takes... I don't know why I keep on just saying Ikslorin instead of me. I mean, it's... I apologize if I keep on just saying my name and then saying me. And speaking in first and third person, it's weird to shoutcast yourself in some ways. At least for my brain. Nevertheless, I have gone to go for a fourth, and Tanaki tries to see if he can go and see if he can punish it. Is just going to focus heavily on it. I'm going to cancel it. Should probably actually not have done it, as it seems like I very much would actually have had it surviving, but nevertheless, pretty much forcing it back and giving up on it. Interestingly enough, that should not have done. That must have been a misclick. Should have gotten the fourth down. Nevertheless, we have more circlings going to go in. And again, we are going to have a little bit here of a few circlings going to go in on what could possibly also be a fourth. Yeah, it's probably actually the better fourth to take. Don't know why I didn't take this one. That is actually very exposed now that I think about it. Nevertheless, getting into a better position and also now getting +2 attack. So it's a +1 against +1 and getting again to get further in front of Tanaki. Also, just the worker lead here for me is way more than it should have been. It doesn't seem like Tanaki actually has been producing any drones for quite some time. It's just now finally going here for the third, which I do see with this overlord. So for some weird reason my army is going to go over to the side. Being a little bit paranoid maybe about this part. That doesn't make sense really to go over here, but nevertheless, I mean, I had vision. This actually makes absolutely no sense. This is a stupid decision to do, because my army is so far away. If he had something over here, I could not respond in time at all. Nevertheless, we have one circling, and for some weird reason I attempt to go in for a little bit of a pinching maneuver, I suppose. I don't know, I'm trying to find excuses here for what I'm doing. Nevertheless, finally realizing the third is down, is going to go in and try and see if he can deny it. And all of the circlings going to go in, but the banelings here of Tanaki are going to go in here first, but the banelings rolling from me in at the very last, and no circlings of Tanaki survive. But still only not this Mutalisk of mine are the only thing still here alive, but there's still much more in numbers to get the 3 queens down, and also beginning to hurt on this hatchery here. Still though, we have one circling here, trying to get the extractor down and also the hatchery. But still the third being killed, actually finishing and being killed on top of that too. So 300 going down the drain there. And now also trying to see if I can go in and see if I can do some economic damage. didn't think about that there's absolutely no drones in here. I should know that since there's absolutely nothing in mine too. But also at the same time, Tanaki are going to go in here for the counter attack, both going into the natural and also into the third, on top of what is actually quite a lot of drones on top of that. Which is, that's gotta hurt, ouch. But still, the worker lead is still in favor of mine, and still also quite a lot of circlings going in onto the main of Tanaki, which is a misclick, certainly. And also all the Mutalisks are dying to the Spore Crawler, which is just pathetic, to be honest. Should have pulled out of that one too. And still also Tanaki though here on top of pretty much all the tech there is. And also here go here for the fourth. Already has taken here the third down, but more circlings getting in. And beginning here to go in from all different sides. Still some different, some few circlings here in the main here of Tanaki. He has pretty much just evacuated and just immediately tries to see if he can go all the way over. Just ignores it, goes for the base trade here. And I just here try to see if I can go for a little bit here of a cleanup. And two circlings try and see if they can get through. And it actually seems like they do, just that, interestingly enough. But finally they are being caught. Going to go here in again onto what was the natural. But still, GG is called. Tanaki doesn't have a spawning pool anymore. And only has 22 workers against my 12. So, wait a minute. Where do we have like, isn't there like spending path? There we go. So, that is in total. Okay, so that's the total thing. So we have Tanaki spending 3,000 on technology. That doesn't seem right. I had more upgrades and more technology than him. I don't think that Spore Crawlers count as technology. They shouldn't, at least. It makes no sense. Nevertheless, you see much more army to me. That is not really what I'm looking for. Active forces. Whatever. So we have 5 army to 35 army. But still, we have so many circlings. Yeah, we could probably break. Yeah, we could break this. The Mutalisks could just stay out and then break all of this. Kill the rest we have here. But nevertheless, thank you for watching. See ya. Also, by the way, the 2 drones here either died or they did go back to work.